Windmills, iconic symbols of a nation that has mastered the art of harnessing nature's power. These aren't just relics of the past. They're a testament to Dutch ingenuity and their enduring connection to the land. For centuries, windmills have dotted the landscape, grinding grain, pumping water, and shaping the very fabric of Dutch life. They stand as silent witnesses to the country's history, a reminder of a time when innovation and hard work were the driving forces of progress. Tulips, a vibrant explosion of color that transforms the Dutch countryside into a breathtaking spectacle. These delicate flowers, once a symbol of luxury and status, are now synonymous with the Netherlands. Fields upon fields of tulips stretch as far as the eye can see, a testament to the country's horticultural prowess and its ability to cultivate beauty on a grand scale. The tulip industry is a major economic force, bringing joy and prosperity to the nation. Order. A defining characteristic of Dutch society, evident in the meticulously planned cities, the efficient infrastructure, and the unwavering adherence to rules and regulations. This commitment to orderliness creates a sense of stability and predictability, fostering a society where people can thrive and businesses can flourish. From the perfectly aligned canals to the well-maintained streets, order is woven into the very fabric of Dutch life. That's the image most people have of the Netherlands, a land of picturesque landscapes, charming canals, and a rich cultural heritage. It's a vision of tranquility and prosperity, a place where life moves at a slower pace and where traditional values are cherished. This idyllic image has been carefully cultivated over centuries, attracting tourists and investors alike. Calm, clean, and under control. A society that prides itself on its efficiency, its cleanliness, and its ability to maintain order in all aspects of life. This image of control extends to the economy, the government, and the social fabric of the nation. The Netherlands is often seen as a model of stability and good governance, a beacon of hope in a turbulent world. But what if that calm is built on silence? What if the picture-perfect image hides a darker reality? A world of illicit activities and hidden agendas? What if the very foundations of this prosperous nation are tainted by the corrosive influence of dirty money? Here's the thing nobody wants to talk about: the uncomfortable truth that lurks beneath the surface of Dutch society. A truth that threatens to shatter the carefully constructed image of a nation built on integrity and fairness. Rotterdam isn't just Europe's biggest port, it's a vital artery for global trade, a bustling hub of commerce that connects the Netherlands to the rest of the world. Millions of containers pass through its terminals every year, carrying goods of all kinds. It's also the main highway for cocaine coming into the continent, a gateway for illegal drugs that fuel addiction, violence, and corruption across Europe. The sheer scale of the port makes it incredibly difficult to monitor every container, creating opportunities for smugglers to exploit the system, hidden in containers, concealed amongst legitimate goods disguised as ordinary cargo. The sheer volume of trade makes it nearly impossible to detect every illicit shipment, protected by silence, a code of omerta that shields the criminals from detection and prosecution. Fear, intimidation, and complicity create a wall of silence that allows the drug trade to flourish, and honestly, fueled by corruption. The lure of easy money can corrupt even the most honest individuals, creating a network of complicity that extends throughout the port and beyond. From customs officials to port workers, the temptation to turn a blind eye can be overwhelming. But what happens after the drugs arrive? Once the cocaine is smuggled into the country, it needs to be distributed, sold, and the profits laundered. The vast sums of money generated by the drug trade pose a significant challenge to the Dutch financial system. Billions in drug money don't just vanish. They need to be cleaned, disguised, and integrated into the legitimate economy. This process, known as money laundering, is a complex and sophisticated operation that involves a network of individuals and institutions. They move quietly, right into the legal economy, flowing through the veins of the Dutch financial system, corrupting institutions and distorting markets. This influx of illicit funds can have a devastating impact on the integrity of the economy. Not through the shadows, through back alleys and shady deals, but through banks, the very institutions that are supposed to safeguard the financial system. Banks that have been entrusted with the responsibility of preventing money laundering. Dutch BV companies, private limited companies that are often used as vehicles for money laundering. These companies can be easily set up and used to conceal the true ownership of assets. And luxury real estate. Prime properties in Amsterdam and other major cities bought with dirty money and used to inflate the market. These investments provide a veneer of legitimacy to the illicit funds. Apartments bought with piles of cash. Transactions that should raise red flags, but often go unchallenged. The anonymity of cash transactions makes it difficult to trace the source of the funds. No questions asked. A culture of complacency and willful ignorance that allows money laundering to thrive. Fake companies, shell corporations created solely for the purpose of laundering money. Straw men, individuals who act as fronts for the real owners of the companies, shielding them from scrutiny. Silent partners, hidden investors who benefit from the illicit activities without being directly involved. Their anonymity allows them to operate with impunity. Prices go up, fueled by the influx of dirty money into the real estate market. But the truth, the uncomfortable reality that lies beneath the surface of Dutch society. The truth that threatens to expose the dark underbelly of a nation that prides itself on its integrity. It sinks deeper and deeper, buried beneath layers of denial, complacency, and corruption. The more the truth is suppressed, the more difficult it becomes to uncover. And the banks, the institutions that are supposed to be the gatekeepers of the financial system, the very entities that have a responsibility to prevent money laundering. Rabobank laundered Mexican cartel money, facilitating the flow of illicit funds that fueled violence and drug addiction. This scandal exposed the vulnerability of the Dutch banking system to money laundering. ING got hit with a €775 million fine, a hefty penalty for failing to prevent money laundering. This fine served as a wake-up call for the Dutch banking sector. ABN AMRO, $574 million, another massive fine for similar offenses. These penalties highlight the systemic failures within the Dutch banking system. But here's the kicker, the most shocking aspect of this whole affair. Despite billions flowing through the system, nobody went to prison. No individual held accountable for their role in facilitating money laundering. This lack of accountability sends a dangerous message that the Dutch justice system is not serious about tackling financial crime. Politicians, the elected officials who are supposed to uphold the law and protect the public interest, are they truly committed to fighting financial crime, or are they more concerned with protecting the image of the Netherlands? They talk a big game about justice, promising to crack down on crime and ensure that everyone is held accountable. But their actions often speak louder than their words. But when it comes to action, quiet settlements are the norm, deals struck behind closed doors to avoid public scrutiny. Anything to avoid messy public trials. Trials that could expose the full extent of the problem and implicate powerful individuals. The preference for settlements raises questions about transparency and accountability within the Dutch justice system, because too much truth could shake the economy. Exposing the extent of money laundering could damage the reputation of the Netherlands and deter foreign investment. The fear of economic disruption often outweighs the desire for justice. This isn't just about criminals hiding in the shadows, it's not just a few bad apples spoiling the bunch. It's a systemic problem that permeates all levels of Dutch society. It's about a country that figured out how to make it work. A nation that has become adept at turning a blind eye to illicit activities in order to maintain its economic prosperity. This Faustian bargain has come at a high price. Dirty money doesn't disrupt the system, it doesn't throw a wrench in the gears, it keeps it running. It fuels economic growth, inflates asset prices, and enriches those who are willing to turn a blind eye. The Dutch economy has become dependent on the flow of dirty money. But behind that order, behind the facade of efficiency and prosperity, what lies beneath the surface of Dutch society? Organized crime, a network of criminals who operate with impunity, exploiting the vulnerabilities of the Dutch system. Behind luxury, behind the opulent displays of wealth and extravagance, what is the true cost of this prosperity? Laundered pain. The suffering of those who are victimized by the drug trade, their lives shattered by addiction, violence, and despair. The blood money that fuels the Dutch economy, and the system prefers not to see it. The institutions that are supposed to protect the public interest choose to ignore the problem, prioritizing economic growth over justice. This willful blindness perpetuates the cycle of crime and corruption. The Netherlands seems stable, a beacon of peace and prosperity in a turbulent world. But this stability is an illusion. But that stability is built on a foundation of denial. a refusal to acknowledge the extent of the problem and take meaningful action to address it. This denial is the greatest threat to the long-term stability of the Netherlands. A perfect economy, a model of efficiency and prosperity, a trusted system, institutions that are respected and admired around the world. But the real question is, who really profits? Who benefits from this system of denial and corruption? And what will it take to break the cycle of dirty money and restore integrity to the Dutch system?